We're going to continue the thermodynamics benchmark review. I got partway through NS2. I'm going to try to do the rest of that in NS3 altogether. Okay, let's start with 61. 61 wants to know, 4 students were asked to write a ratio equivalent to -4/79. Their answers are shown. Which student did not write an equivalent expression? This question is going to test your knowledge about what this negative sign means when there's a fraction involved. The entire fraction here is negative. Okay? What that means, like if you were to use it in a multiplication or division or something, is you would make one piece or the other, the numerator or the denominator, negative. If they're both negative, then what you've got is you've got like a division problem. A fraction is like a division problem, 4 divided by 79. If I divide a negative number by another negative number, it turns into a positive number, always. So if I have a negative on top and on bottom, the whole thing is no longer negative. Okay? Not going to be negative. So Jim has messed up. Poor Jim. Poor, poor, poor Jim. You could also test it in your calculator. If the negative sign's out in front, divide 4 divided by 79 and make it negative. So 4 divided by 79, and they should all work out. 4 divided by 79 and make it negative. So if I were to do the ratio and turn it into a decimal, it's approximately -0.0506, and it keeps going, but I've rounded it, so it's approximate. Crystal says that a negative 0.05 whatever, that she can get the same thing by doing -4 divided by 79. Let's try it. On your blue calculator, you type 4 first and then the negative sign, but this is backwards compared to y'all's. -4/79. And that's a negative of that thing. If I put a negative sign out in front, well, your calculators don't have parentheses on them, so don't worry about that. If I put the negative sign out in front, let's do the 4/79 first and put the negative out in front of it. 4 divided by 79. And then you put the negative out in front. It would be the same. -4, so if you typed in -4, which in yours would be 4 then negative, divided by 79 negative. Oh, that's actually a positive number. Boom. That wouldn't be it. 4 divided by -79 should make it a negative number, and that's that. But the key here is, this is one of those that's testing you. Do you know that rule about negative signs out in front of fractions, what that means? You can have a negative sign in the top, or in the bottom, or out in front, but you can't have 2 negative signs and have it mean the same thing, because the negatives cancel out. Alright, 64. Let's see what 64 is asking us. 64 says, select all expressions that are equivalent to -3/4. That's the same kind of question as this guy. They're trying to see if you forgot or you remembered about dividing negatives by negatives. So, I got to have the negative sign on top or on bottom, but not both. 3/4. Oh, there's no negative sign anywhere. -3/4. Yep, that's 1. 3 divided by -4. Yep, that'll do. I can't draw when I'm holding it up. Negative divided by negative. Nope. Oh, this one's fancy. Negative divided by negative. Those guys are going to turn positive. But then there's a negative out in front here. Oh, that one turns back negative again. Why so many negative signs? Well, a lot of the time problems come to you in real life, not in their simplest form. And that is nowhere near simple. There's too many negative signs. They're redundant. Let's look at 74 and 76. Maybe they'll be similar. Alright, 74. Which expression is equivalent to this guy? Alright, this guy, if you notice, you got fractions here, and you got fractions here, and you still have 2 terms. They haven't been added or subtracted or anything yet. Good. That means this is going to be one that's going to use that that third method I didn't talk about in the other problem, number 29. Alright. So we're going to think distributed property for this one. I'm going to rewrite it a bit bigger. I've got -3 out in front. times 6/7 minus 2/7. And you could go through and simplify this and then see if these guys simplify to the same thing. That also works out. Like, we'll do that next. But here's the easiest thing to do. If this is like -3/1, let's multiply this thing outside by my first term on the inside. What's -3 times 6? -18. 1 times 7 is 7. Alright, I have a -3 times a -2. I'm going to pair this minus sign in front of it like that with the 2. -3 times -2 is a positive 6. And then 1 times 7 is 7. Be careful, it's not 1 times -7. I've already paired that negative with a 2. Remember these problems a minute ago where we had negative on top, negative on bottom? That makes it positive again. Don't do that. If I have a negative out here, it changes the sign of this piece and this piece when I distribute. Hey, do I have one of them? Yeah, it's A. Oops. Now, if you wanted to, instead, you could have added this 6/7 or subtracted -2. 6/7 minus 2/7. 6 minus 2, since they're both 7s. 6 minus 2 is 4/7. And then if I just multiply this guy, it's -3 times 4, which is -12/7. And you can go through your list and double check. -18 plus 6, that's -12, that's it. -18 minus 6, that's -24, that's not going to be it. 18 plus 6, that's positive 24. 18 minus 6, that's positive 12. So you could do it that way if this business confuses you. In fact, if you're going to make a mistake changing your signs, or if you're worried you might, go with this guy. It'll work out. And we're going to look at number 76. Izzy went to the veggie stand, bought 2.5 pounds of potatoes and 1.5 pounds of carrots. Use the price chart below to determine how much she spent. Okay, I'm going to annotate this one because I want to make sure I don't lose track. 2.5 pounds of potatoes and 1.5 pounds of carrots. Here's the potatoes, and here's the carrots. Do I need to know anything about cucumbers or green beans? No, I'm going to go ahead and scribble them out so I don't get confused. That may or may not work for you. All right. Oh, and then it says that Izzy split the cost evenly between her and her friend Amy. So that's not even the full thing. When we figure out how much this costs, we got to go back and split it between her and Amy. All right. Okay. So this is the price per pound. I got 2.5 pounds of potatoes here. So I'm going to take my potato cost and multiply it by 2.5. So $1.98 times 2. Wow, those are expensive potatoes. That's $4.95. Maybe not. I haven't bought potatoes in a while. $1.50 times how many pounds of carrots? 1.5. 1.5 times 1.5 is 225. Altogether, she spent $225 plus $4.95, which is $7.20. So she split this evenly between her and her friend Amy. That's 2 people. So 7.2 divided by the 2 people who had to spend money on it is $3.60. Yep, $3.60. So that's how much each of them paid. Altogether it was $7.20. That's why that's on there. Okay.